20 years ago, a portal opened up over Moscow, and the Pearl came through for the first time. Um, there were red images that were leaping into human host bodies and burning through them at an incredible rate. The human body could, their body temperatures skyrocketed, and so the Pearl would need a new host within days. And in this way, they slaughtered half the population of the city by the time we came up with a solution. We would blow up the portal. Everything we tried up to this point had failed. All hope seemed lost. Anything mechanical within a few miles of the portal got knocked out like it had just been hit by an EMP pulse. Every missile or plane we sent there just would just drop from the sky like a stone. Every time, and they all just seemed to drop from the sky a few miles out from the portal. So Alina Ivanova, the hero of Earth, was put into an astronaut suit and attached to a rigid winged suit with levers and pulleys that made it possible for her to steer the suit and thereby the bomb by moving her fingers as it fell from the plane. So she was strapped to this chemical reaction bomb along with a dead alien who was believed to be a high-value target that they were sacrificing in hopes that his presence might increase her odds of getting through. And as it was lifted into the bomber, she saw all of the crew, so many crew on what they all knew was a one-way trip, but still they sang patriotic songs. The bomber was manned by all volunteers. They weren't doing it for glory. They weren't doing it for They were doing it for Mother Earth. They were showing the alien vampire bastards that what humanity was made of. They flew as high as they could, then straight at the portal, right up to the moment the bomber lost power and began to fall from the sky. The crew managed a manual separation as Alina and the bomb dropped from the plane, and as she fell, she banked to the left and sailed away straight into the portal. She thought about those volunteers on the plane. The explosion was incredible. Organic matter that enters the portal goes out of phase. It's like it flattens out or turns into a data stream. So Alina almost immediately went out of phase. And from this vantage point, being slightly out of phase, she watched as the explosion, it appeared as light, an explosion of light, not matter, burst forth, and as light it simply passed right through her, but did not affect her. She woke up on a grassy knoll. She was no longer attached to either the bomb or the rigid flying suit, but still in her astronaut suit. 2 more hours of air. She didn't see the point of waiting till the air ran out to find out if she could breathe the air or not. So she opened up her visor. Fresh air! She heard noises, so she hid. She saw people in rags as human as she was, searching like hunter-gatherers of old. But they weren't wearing animal skins, they were wearing ragged clothes. So she followed them at a safe distance. She must have triggered something because she was suddenly surrounded by drones hovering above her, and they directed her towards a cave. Inside the cave was a complex. It was the last refuge of humanity. She told them of her mission and of how she does not know why she is still alive. Petro, the leader of the group, told her that the portal still exists, and that when one of the Pearl is killed, he is replaced. What? She asked Alina. So my mission was kind of successful. I mean, one at a time we can handle, not armies at a time, right? Well, said Petros, success, failure, both are eventual, but the portal, said Alina. Yes, you succeeded in blowing up the portal, but it survives in a less stable state. Our scientists had thought eventually it would collapse and seal itself off, but it survives. I thought I had made it to the other end of the portal, said Alina. No, you are the most famous person on the planet, but we've downloaded but you never made it to the other end of the portal. And as far as the Pearl, their mission continues, whatever that mission, maybe 100 years after you. Wait a minute. Their mission continues, whatever that mission may be. And 100 years after you went into the portal, another astronaut went in after you. And he entered the portal in 2323 and was spit back out in 2358. The same thing must have happened to you, but because of the explosion, you got spit back out 300 years after you went in. You never made it to the other end of the portal. All the data your suit collected, well, the other there was no. You were in there. You were in there for minutes, as far as the data your suit collected. Even though it was 300 years, but the astronaut who went in after you, he didn't go in with a bomb. It was another type of mission. We had found a bacteria that feeds on the same. We had what do you call that? DNA. Genetically, we had created a bacteria that feeds on the same type of energy that the portal produces. Today we know that the energy that emanates from the portal, fulfantic energy, has become a food source for a local bacteria that is abundant in the Moscow River. And we discovered this. We built a missile tanker that was a bacteria delivery system, and we got a volunteer to ride it in, just like you. And she rode the bomb in, and it worked, delivering a spray of that bacteria as it sailed into the portal. Unfortunately, when she bounced back out, she didn't make it. So this mission, when he entered the portal, was simply. Her mission when she entered the portal was simply to release the bacteria inside the portal, which she did, so there was no explosion, so she was spit out a lot quicker than you were. The Pearl, when we killed them, were no longer being replaced, and the portal had begun belching out a noxious gas we had named the room, and these are the letters, M-T-R, the room emptier. That is when we were contacted by the Pearl. They informed us that they were the evolved descendants of the bacteria that the other astronaut had released into the portal, and that all of this had been their attempt to prevent us from ever releasing that missile filled with bacteria into the portal, said Petro. How do you know this? Asked Alina. He opened a door and showed her a vampire alien with no eyes. They can't escape. We've learned that we can trap them in the human bodies. We call her the witch, said Petro, and she has been the source for most of our knowledge about her kind. We came from a place just like this place, but our universe was dying.